Alright, so we're going to be doing problem 3.1, which is our first if then else problem. You're going to use a sensor called bump 1, which is a touch sensor, and a motor called right motor. And in this problem, when the bump switch is pressed, the wheel will turn counterclockwise for 2 seconds, and when the switch is not pressed, the motor will spin clockwise indefinitely. So this program runs on a continuous loop. So that's a new thing we're going to be going over in the software. And to look at this, I just threw together a flowchart quickly. So basically, program starts, and you go down to your decision, and your decision is bump 1 pressed. If it's a yes, the right motor spins counterclockwise for 2 seconds, and then loops back to the beginning. And if it is, and then it looks at the decision again, and if it is no, it spins clockwise on repeat. Just keeps going through this decision. So that's the flow chart we've got. So if I pull up my graphical vex, and I'll just throw this here, the first thing I'm going to do is I am just going to make sure that I open up my graphical setup, which I've already done. So I open up graphical setup, and I have to go to motor and sensors. Now, under motor and sensor, all of this is good, but it did say we have to change this to bump 1. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to click OK, and then in this software, for that to take effect, you have to hit compile program. If you do not hit compile program, it won't take. And as always, we just run through our list, make sure we are on the right platform type, make sure it's natural language PLTW, and make sure we're exporting to USB only. Okay, from here, we do our typical comments, drop them in. So this program, when bump 1 is pressed, motor will spin counterclockwise for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'll drop in another comment that says when bump 1 is not pressed, motor will spin clockwise forever. And to do that, we're going to use this command repeat forever. And inside that program, we will need our decision, which is this if else. So this is the decision. Basically, the repeat forever is how these arrows are looping. That's what the repeat forever signifying. It just keeps going. It doesn't have an end. There's no stop. The if else, that's the decision. If is this, else is this. So that's what we've got. So under here, we're going to select a bump 1 and go over sense of value, bump 1. And if it's pressed, it's a 1. If it's not pressed, it's a 0. So we're going to set it to 1. And then we're just going to go through and tell it what to do. So if we pressed our start motor, I believe it was the left motor. It could have been the right. It doesn't really matter. And counterclockwise is going to be negative 95. And it's going to do that for, oopsies, 2 seconds. And if this is not the case, which is our else scenario, we are going to spin clockwise indefinitely. So that'll just keep looping. So that is the whole program for 3.1. I hope this was helpful.